Good afternoon. Just making sure I'm live here. Looks like I'm good to go. So good afternoon. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're getting to do something fun and celebrate with your loves today. So today I've got a Gatefold card using the Simply Zinnias stamp set. And that is from the Flowering Zinnias Flowering Zinnias Sweet Collection. Hiya, Kiko. Thanks so much for joining. Happy Valentine's Day. So what I realized right before I went live today, hey, Mary. Hey, Rosie. Thanks for joining. What I realized was that the Simply Zinnias stamp set is not orderable right now. However, it is coming back the end of February. So my apologies. I didn't realize, and I should have, but the stamp set is not available right now. However, the dies that go with this are available. And I did use both the stamps and dies for this card, as well as the Flowering Zinnias 12x12 Designer Series paper and the adhesive back shiny sequins. I love these shiny sequins. I don't know if you can see, like, they're extra sparkly, so they're fun. So let's get started on our card. So I did a Gatefold card today, and a lot of times you'll see Gatefold cards with belly bands. But I opted to put a little panel on the front of my Gatefold card, so it kind of weighs it down. You don't really need the 5th of March. Okay, everything will be back, right, for the go live on March 5th, which, these are online exclusive products that will not be available till March 5th. Thank you, Mary. But if you are a demonstrator, you can pre-order. And if you join, right, during celebration, that means you get to pre-order, anything that's up for grabs, right? So the new online exclusives are coming out March 5th. The Flowering Zinnias Suite are one of those, sweet collections that will be coming out as online exclusives. So yeah, if you join, you get to pre-order them. However, the stamp set is currently out until roughly February 26th is the date that I saw. So let's get started with a little bit of stamping. We're going to do some stamping, a little bit of coloring, and a little gluing up. We're going to put together some die cut pieces to make our flower. So let me go ahead and get all of my pieces out here for stamping. I'm using Berry Burst ink, and I use that ink throughout the entire card. I've got the large Zinnia single flower here that I'm going to stamp on my envelope, as well as my my inside panel. Just go ahead and get that stamped. Hi, Faith. Thanks so much for joining. And I'm just partially stamping that flower, just kind of in the corner. Give that a second to dry. And then I've got a small, I need my inside panel back here, don't I? So I'm going to stamp the large sentiment on my inside panel. And that is, words fail to express my gratitude. I love the mix of fonts on this sentiment. Just really a lot of fun. And let me see if I can get this somewhat centered and somewhat straight. Let's see how we do. I'm going to stamp that a little bit higher. And fingers crossed that I get it straight. Yeah, the Zinnias really are beautiful. I've just kind of started, this is the second card that I've made with them. And I can see more potential cards coming. So yeah, it is a wonderful set. The paper is just beautiful. The images are beautiful. And this is my teeny tiny little sentiment for the front of the card. And that sentiment says, thank you so much. And I'm really trying to bring this towards me. Bear with me here, because I want to make sure I get it stamped straight. Just kind of holding my breath here. Let's see how I do. It's a little bit high. Let me try that again. I got it straight, but it's just a tad high. So let me try that one more time and see if I can't do a little bit better. You don't usually do bright colors, Faith. Yeah. Well, they are bright, that's for sure. But beautiful, for sure. I mean, it just reminds you so much of the real thing, the real Zinnias, which I'm a huge fan of. I love Zinnias in the garden in the summertime. So that one I got much straighter. So we are going to take that one. And that is our little bit of stamping done. Let's go ahead and start working on the card base. So I have here a piece of Flirty Flamingo, and it measures 11 inches by 4 1/4. And I am going to score this with my scoring tool, my scoring board. And I'm going to line it here up on the long edge. And I'm going to score at 2 3/4. The trick with this scoring board sometimes, and I'm a little high there, sorry about that. The trick with the scoring board is, right, I'm finding my 2 3/4 mark. If you try to move just your hand to score, almost always you're going to jump off the track of the 2 3/4 inches or whatever measurement. But I have found that if I line up and move my entire arm down, I have better results. And I don't jump out of the track when I'm trying to score on a particular line. So that was 2 3/4 and then 8 1/4. And let's see here. There we go. So by moving your whole arm, it helps you. Oh, you're not a bright color fan either, Rosie. Wow. It's I don't know. It's just so beautiful. It really is. So I am going to go ahead and get my bone folder, and I just want to make sure that my edges are straight here when I fold this in. And the reason I like using the scoreboard is that you get such perfect score lines. So when you're doing fun folds, it's really helpful. You know, my gatefold here, my gates aren't running into each other when I close the card base, and that's perfect. And that's what you want. If you were to use, you can use the scoring tool on the paper trimmer that we have. But if you're not exactly precise, it might be a little bit off. So using that scoreboard definitely makes all the difference in the world. All right, I've got some panels of this pretty flowering zinnia paper, and how beautiful. I love this tone-on-tone paper. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Let's get these panels glued up and get them put on the outside of our card. Got a brand new bottle of glue here, so I'm going to try and not get carried away. And I am mounting these pieces of Designer Series paper onto Petal Pink mats. And I just want to make sure I'm getting a nice even reveal all the way around. Thank you, Akiko. You know, the colors are taken from the, all of the colors are listed on the back of our Designer Series paper packs. And I pretty much pulled the colors from there. It takes all the guesswork out. You're certainly free to use what colors you'd like on your project. But I really love that Stampin' Up! Provides us with all of the colors in their Designer Series paper, so that when you're working with a particular suite of products like this, it takes all the guesswork out. I didn't use all of the colors, but I used quite a few of them. I've got some Petal Pink, Flirty Flamingo, Berry Burst, some Old Olive, and Lemon Lime Twist on my project. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue these up to the front of the card front on my gates. I'm a little bit hoarse today. My apologies. I don't know. My sinuses have just been a mess. I think it is just from heat in the house. You know, just being confined indoors in dry heat. Okay, and let's get this one matted up. Not matted up, glued up to our card front. Isn't this pretty paper? It's so cheerful. Alrighty. And I'm going to hold that up and just make sure that the tops of my edges are in line with each other. That looks pretty good. Alrighty. Cap my glue up here for a minute. Well, I guess I can go ahead and get this one matted. It's too cold. Yes, it got cold again, Akiko. Akiko and I don't live too far from each other. And yes, it did get cold again. Brr. It was really nice there for a few days before the snow came in. We had snow yesterday. Well, we had rain, and then it changed to sleet, and then it changed to wet snow. Akiko, you may still have snow where you are. All of ours melted yesterday afternoon. A little bit warmer where I am. And I was wondering if Amy got much snow. You're in the low 20s today, Rosie. 3 inches so far this morning. Yeah. I would imagine it takes a bit for you to warm up where you are located. All right, now I'm going to cap my glue. And I am just going to bring back in my envelope and my inside panel. Excuse my reach. I keep a scrap piece of cardstock near my Stampin' Blends, and I use this to put inside of my envelopes when I'm using Stampin' Blends to color, just so that the markers don't bleed through. I tend to have a heavy hand. Hey, Amy, thanks so much for joining. We were just talking about the snow yesterday, Amy, and I was wondering how much Akiko got and how much did you get, Amy? And is it still on the ground? Because you're a bit north of us, so. And I'm just using the light shade of Petal Pink here, and I am coloring. You can see I am not being careful at all, but I am coloring in the blooms that would be most towards the center with this light shade of Petal Pink. And again, I'm not being careful here at all. Because honestly, all these colors kind of just blend together. I'm going to go to my dark shade of Petal Pink and hit the next layer down of these petals. And then I'll come in with my Flirty Flamingo and get the petals in the back. And just a quick scribble here. Let's do those two as well. So super easy coloring, nothing fancy. And then I'm going to come in with my light shade of Flirty Flamingo. And so I've got the 3 colors. I stamped in Berry Burst, and I'm coloring in the 2 different shades of Petal Pink and then Flirty Flamingo. And sorry, I'm not paying attention to comments. I'm trying to make sure I don't go outside of the lines here on my coloring. Looks like I missed a few here. or I just didn't get them very dark. I think it's just not showing up very well. Just kind of go over those again. Yeah, it's just so light that it doesn't show up. Back here with my light shade of Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to color in just kind of an oval, scribble the center of that flower. And I forgot to grab my Lemon Lolly. And this is the dark shade of Lemon Lolly. And I'm just going to color these. These are really hard to see. But there's little stamens sticking up, kind of little stars. And I'm just going to dot all of those stars and the little white dots to represent the stamens on the flowers. Okay. Whoops, missed one. All right, and that is it for coloring. Let me do this one real quick here. Hey, Sharon, thanks very much for joining. So we were talking weather, Sharon. We got snow here. I think you got snow too, didn't you, in Texas? My Petal Pink just may be running out of juice. It's very light. I'm going to scribble here as much as I can. I think I need to order new markers. You can hear them squeaking. Let me grab the middle shade here. That one's not out. Might account for why my petals were so light. Maybe I'll just go ahead and color those in. Isn't it fun watching somebody color? Y'all chat amongst yourselves. I'm almost done, I promise. This one actually sounds like it's running out as well. All right, and then we'll get the rest with the light shade of Flirty Flamingo. Just kind of filling in kind of the panels or the petals that are sitting, the outermost petals, I guess you'd say. And really just almost done. Alrighty, let me get that center colored in, and we'll get our stamens colored in, and then we can move on. Yeah, I know, Mary. Having used those markers yesterday, I tried both ends. That's why I went with the bullet tip, thinking maybe it might be a little juicier, but it wasn't. I find that the lighter colors seem to, I don't know if it's because I use them more or what, but it seems like the lighter colors tend to dry up or run out faster than darker colors. And that could just be, you know, that could just be me. But that's kind of what I find. But again, I could be making all that up, so don't go by what I say. Alrighty. Get my little cheat card out of my envelope there. And we can mat up our inside panel. And I'm matting this to a piece of Petal Pink. I love these colors together, these pinks together. Just really pretty. So I hope everybody has some fun plans for Valentine's Day. We don't. We're not doing anything special. Middle of the week, everybody's free. My husband's working, so, you know. And my mom is actually away right now. I haven't heard from her yet today, but I did send her flowers. So hopefully she gets them on Valentine's Day would be nice. And boy, did flowers get expensive. Holy cow. I haven't ordered from a florist in a while. And wow, flowers got really expensive. But that's okay. She's worth it. Mom is totally worth it. All right. Get that put inside. And then this little panel is going to get mounted to the left gate of the gatefold, just like that. And we're going to decorate it first. So I did pre-cut my little pieces. Let me get my sentiment here. Shipping costs are crazy too. I agree, Mary. That is crazy. Everything. Let's just agree that everything is getting expensive, right? I follow this family. They live in Idaho, and they're kind of homesteaders. I mean, they have conveniences and all that, but they do a lot of gardening, and, you know, they have livestock and that kind of thing. They're in the mountains in Idaho, and he is from Hawaii, and the family just took a trip to Hawaii, and, you know, they did a video of their trip to Hawaii, and they stopped at a grocery store just to pick up snacky kind of things and drinks and whatnot. And oh my goodness, the cost of stuff in Hawaii. Yeah, I couldn't live there. I could not. So what I've done here is I have used the Simply Zinnia dies, and let me pull those back out here real quick. Doing fairly well on time. Thank you. This tray is very old. This was my grandmother's. And it's just a little glass tray, and it was always our pickle tray for our holiday meals. So I have it on my desk, and it's perfect to hold little die-cut pieces so I don't lose them. But I really, this is like one of my favorite things ever. But anyway, I used the 2 different zinnia dies to cut out the little flowers. I have cut 3 of the leaves, the single leaves here, and this die will kind of cut in the veining for you. I've used this straight little die. This cuts 5 of the little stamens out at one time for you. And then I use this particular flower center rather than this one. I use this one as my flower center. So let's go ahead and get these pieces put together. And so the shorter petals, right, on both of these, the shorter petals would be closest to you. If you ever look at a flower, like the shortest petals would be closest to you. And so I'm going to try and stick with that. And I'm just offsetting my petals here as best I can. And that looks pretty good. They don't match up exactly, but do your best. And then I'm just taking my fingers and I'm kind of rolling my little petals up just to give them a little bit of dimension. And then, so the petals are Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo. My little flower center is in Berry Burst. Just get a little bit of glue, and again, the short side of this flower center would be closest to you. So we'll get that glued up there, and I got a little carried away with the glue. Let me find my, where's my tweezers? Oh no, let me find my tweezers. I was working on something else today, and so they weren't where they should be. Alrighty. And before I put, we've got our little stars. I cut plenty of stars because they are just so tiny. And I am just going to, let me kind of clean off the end of my glue here. I am just going, yeah, tweezer emergency for sure. I can't be without my tweezers. You got me hooked, Mary. I'm going to put the tiniest, hopefully, drop of glue in 5 spots, trying to evenly space them out around the outside here of my flower center. And then carefully pick up these little tiny stars, and they are tiny, tiny. I don't even know if you can see them on the camera, but they're small. And we'll just put our little stars here around kind of the outside of the flower center, like that. And hopefully they're stuck down. I tried to be sparing with the glue. You can see my finger is sticking to is sticking there. But aren't they cute? The little stamens, I love those. I think they add a lot to the card. So our little flower is going to sit up top here with our short petals right towards the bottom. They'd be closest to us. And then I'm just going to arrange, if I can grab them, let's use the tweezers. I'm just going to put kind of 2 leaves there and 1 leaf kind of like that. And let's see how that looks. Alrighty. And my little sentiment label is going to sit down here, just like that. So I'm going to kind of leave that sentiment label there. And I'm going to pick up both of these leaves and get some glue on the backs here. And I want one of those leaves to just kind of sit over top of my sentiment label. So I didn't put glue all the way out to the end. And we'll get this other one put on. And we'll put him kind of up like that. And then I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. I didn't use any ribbon or twine on this card. I didn't really feel like it needed it, but you certainly could. Could add that if you want. And now that I have a little spot of glue on me, of course, everything wants to stick. And let's find our short petals. There we go. And it is going to go right in the center of that panel, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on my sentiment label. And I don't need a lot. And these are half dimensionals. I cut my dimensionals in half. I like the way that they fit on my projects. Hey, Tara, didn't see you sneak in. Thank you. Yeah, these die-cut flowers are the bomb for the zinnias. They really are beautiful. All right, I need to pull this to me just a bit. I'm going to use my tweezers. And this sentiment label is basically horizontally is going to fit across that that panel of DSP. And then I just popped the end of my leaf tip out over top of the sentiment label. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to grab some tear and tape. If I can find the end, there we go. And I am going to, whoops, don't drop it, Carol. Let's make sure I'm putting it on the right side. So I need it on that side. So I'm just going to put 2 rows. I know that's how much will fit and not interfere here with my card. 2 rows of tear and tape. Tear and tape is quite strong, especially on non-embossed surfaces. If you are putting tear and tape on an embossed surface, in fact, I think it was my card last week that I was doing that, and you really need to make sure that you're getting good contact between the tape and the paper. If you're not, chances are it's not going to be as great as you want it to be. And so I've got the tear and tape there on the left side of my panel, and I am just, let me line this up. That will help me with my grid paper, and just shooting for straight and centered as best as possible. And I think that looks pretty good. And I'm going to give that a good press down. And I'm just going to kind of use my scissors there to kind of lift up my petals a little bit. And that is our card, minus some sequins. let me find the sequins. Now, I just had those darn sequins. I'm serious. Oh, there they are. They're hiding. Yeah, I love the tear and tape too. Oh, thank you, Akiko. Thank you, Mary. So on my original card, I used the Melon Mambo sequins, but I really love these green. So these are Lemon Lime Twist. And let's do some Lemon Lime Twist sequins, because I just think they are the bomb. Let's get another big one here. And I'm going to set it out here where you can see it. That looks good. Alrighty. So let me get rid of this stuff out of my way. Got a little star there hanging out. And the only thing left to do here is to put some designer series paper here on the, oh, thank you, Rosie. Appreciate the shout out. Put some designer series paper. I picked a different piece because I love this so much. It would help if I had it right side up. It's that way. Okay, let's get the paper onto our panel. So Celebration will be going on through February 29th. So with your $50 and $100 purchases, you can get free products. All of the details are out on my blog, inkybstampers.com. We also have an excellent joining promotion right now during Celebration. If you join, you would pay for your $99 starter kit. You would get $125 in Stampin' Up! Products. And then you can either choose the Glass Mat Studio, which is a fantastic work surface. I am loving my glass mat. I've got it covered right now just because of the lights. So you can choose the Glass Mat Studio or $30 in additional products. So for $99, $125 in products. Your order will ship for free. And you can either choose the Glass Mat Studio or an additional $30 in products. If you join now, you can pre-order items, the online exclusives that are coming out on March 5th. You'd be eligible to pre-order those items if you'd like, if you join. And so, yeah, come join my team. I'd love to have you. And we have by the way, we have a fantastic team. We really have a fantastic team. A lot of fun. Not a lot of pressure on our team to sell. You know, if you want to join just for the discount, that's fine. If you want to make a business out of it, that's fine too. And super supportive people on our group, in our group. And I can't say enough nice things about them. But anyway, this is our Gatefold thank you card using the Simply Zinnia bundle and the Flowering Zinnias Designer Series paper. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Stop back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for another card tutorial. And thanks so much for joining. Take care. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye-bye.